Hello YouTube. I have here the first season of Roseanne, and I was going to make a video reviewing the entire season, but I made it and I had way too much to say and it would have gotten really boring really fast. So I'm going to go by disc. Actually, I'm going to go by episode and review my favorite episodes. First of all, let me tell you about Roseanne. Let me read what the back of this says. In 1988, it exploded onto TV full of unprecedented honesty, attitude, and flat-out hilarity. No other series before or since has had its worldwide impact. In this groundbreaking debut season, meet the working-class Connors of Lanford, Illinois. Wife, mother, domestic goddess Roseanne, husband Dan, her sister Jackie, and kids Becky, Darlene, and DJ. Watch as they live their lives like no other family in television history has, as they launch the legendary sitcom and change our culture forever. So that's, I completely agree with what I just read. I believe that Roseanne was a very profound, new, revolutionary idea. It showed us that not everybody on TV had to look like a supermodel, had to look like the Glee posters behind me. Let's see. It showed a realistic point of view. Roseanne and Dan were both overweight. They're working class, and it's not like working class where, oh, we suddenly have a ton of stuff in our house, we're just working class people. It's nothing like that. It's where they actually have money struggles, and they don't get all the best things and all the finest things and all that stuff. Anyway, so this is the first season. I'm going to review. I swear I keep hearing someone say my name or say something to me, because I feel like I'm being way too loud in here, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna do disc 3. Contains all of my favorite episodes, so I'm just going to do all of them. Well, not all of them, but one of them at a time per video. This one is going to be Nightmare on Oak Street. Okay. This episode begins with Darlene, Becky, and their father Dan planning to watch a horror movie marathon. And Roseanne warns that they're gonna get nightmares, because DJ, the little brother, wants to watch it too. And Roseanne warns that they're all gonna get nightmares, and she doesn't want anyone to come crying to her when they can't sleep at night because they're afraid of all the monsters that they watched on TV that day. So, cut to nighttime, and Darlene comes into her mother's room saying that she can't sleep. Roseanne asks if Darlene is sick, if Darlene has a stomach ache or a fever, and Darlene says, no, I don't. And she says, I guess, when her mother asked her if she couldn't sleep because she had a nightmare. So her mother takes her back up to bed and talks to her, tells her story until she falls asleep. The next morning, Darlene goes down to eat breakfast, and her father tries to tell her a story about how he had a nightmare that an airplane decal on a cup flew up his nose, and at that Darlene gets very annoyed and says that she didn't actually have a nightmare, but instead she started her period. I think this episode is very It's very interesting because I don't think I've ever seen on TV another episode where a girl talked about her first period, or where a family had to deal with a girl who was who was having her first period. I watched a lot of sitcoms. I watched the majority of the 80s/90s sitcoms like Full House, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Step by Step, that one with Tony Danza, I don't remember what it was called, Saved by the Bell. I watched all of those and more, Family Matters, but none of them have ever dealt with, well, except for Full House, the majority of them have male central characters, and so none of them have really dealt with a girl having her period. But this episode handles it very well. It shows that sometimes parents are not the best source of comfort when you have your first period, because they don't exactly know what to do or say, and sometimes it can be awkward, but it'll be fine, and you can still, even though because later in the episode, Darlene is packing up all of her sports equipment, all of her basketballs, footballs, all of the athletic clothes, all of that, because she thinks that she has to be girly now that she has her period. But then her and Roseanne have a talk, and Roseanne tells her that just because you have your period doesn't mean that you can't play sports or you can't do any of the guy things that you used to do. You're just doing with a more womanly touch, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I think that it's great because it tells girls that, having your period won't change your whole life. It's just something that happens to every girl at one point in their lives, and just because you're young and it happens doesn't mean anything. If you're older and it happens, it doesn't mean anything. You can still be the same person you were before you had your period. So I think that episode was really good and really unique in that it dealt with what it dealt with. So that is my first episode review and, the introduction to Roseanne. Thank you for watching, and I'll have more up eventually, but not now because it's 1:04 a.m. Bye.